Hey guys, still here, and welcome back to Cold Waters. We were back in 1968 campaign. It's just turned into 1969. We're heading back to Holy Lock to resupply and repair the submarine because we've taken some damage and fired off most of the torpedoes that we had on board. So it's time to replenish and especially get this thing repaired. And we are back at Holy Lock. Now, I have seen this thing quite a few times. It's weird because I cannot scroll. I cannot anyway get a little bit more information here because the sentence just ends. Gazing warily at the steel grey skies over Holy Lock, you feel your... what? No idea. Again, the game is still buggy. Okay, we're again going after replenishment at sea units. Sailing from Arkhangelsk, rendezvousing in Greenland Sea. Unfortunately, I have to rearm and repair first. West Germany falls to the Soviets. Shit. Rearm and repair, damage control, get the tubes fixed. And we're going to start loading torpedoes again. We're dealing with surface contact, so I'm going to go with 12 Mark 16s, and the rest of them is going to be Mark 37s. There we go. Looks like the tubes are back online. Or going to be. I want to reload these things with the Mark 16s because I'm expecting surface contacts first. Come on. Looks like this tube's not really willing to function yet. That's fine. We'll keep one Mark 37 loaded. Alright, we're 14 hours into the port. It still says we need damage, or we need damage fixed. I think the tubes are fine. And we gotta quickly get to that battle group. Oh, come on. Before they manage to make their way to the Greenland Sea. They came in from Arkhangelsk, so that's on the far right. Hopefully I can get to the Greenland Sea before they do. Because if they get their warships resupplied at sea, we're probably going to see some more of our NATO convoys going down. That's the submarine contact. New sonar contact bearing 226, designate 01. Alright, close to 15,000 yards. And rig for... I'm not expecting anything on 226 though. 226 is there. According to the map, there shouldn't be anything there. Tube 3 loaded. We have no layers, unfortunately. Let's make a turn. I'm gonna try and find this guy. Whatever it is. He really cannot have gone that far. But if he's 15,000 yards out, and it's a contact that's actually a submarine, then this is going to be an interesting fight. Now, I still don't have a towed array, so we're just going to have to get close enough. Make my course 226. There we go. So where are the contacts? Normally the sonar is quick to reacquire the contact after you load into the mission. So far, nothing. Come right to course 270. Nothing? It says here that we do have vessels nearby. So we are probably dealing with a submarine. A surface ship, we would have already been detected. Or at least we had already detected him. So there's a submarine. He's really bloody quiet. I just hope that it's not a nuclear submarine, because they are capable of outrunning my Mark 37s. Alright, we're gonna do a full turn. See if there's anything behind me. Not really expecting it, but you never know. About halfway through the turn. Nothing. Got him. Wow. Where are you at? He faded. Okay, so we did detect him. Why is he cavitating though? Last known, bearing 147. Come on, sunshine. I did hear one ping. Come on, Sierra 1. Full rudder right. We're gonna make another turn. Just a circle. The hell? If we're dealing in squares of 1,000 yards, then this guy's about 4,000 yards out. But we only detected him for a brief moment, so we're not very certain about the distance. Let's just keep heading in his general direction. I'm going to stick at ultra quiet, stick at 5 knots, because I don't want to risk an engagement just yet. I want to find out what I'm dealing with first. Alright, I'll stop. Maximum quiet. Nothing. Okay. Now, this submarine only has, or at least I think, it only has a spherical sonar array, so it's on the bow of the ship. It does not have a towed array. I'm not sure about the sonar arrays in the sides of the ship. I believe that's mostly narrowband, but I don't think that that's accurately modeled in this game. No vessels nearby. What the hell? Now the question is, he was on 146 or 147. According to this, he's no longer nearby. So where is he? I'm gonna make my way to the surface. And I'm gonna try and get some ESM measurements to find out exactly what we're dealing with. Because for all I know, I'm completely mistaken, and I am in fact dealing with a surface ships or a surface contact. Depth 60 feet, 50. That'll do. Up ESM, up scope. Looks like I'm not seeing any signals from these targets. No, nothing. Definitely a submarine then. But this submarine's not really my target, so I'm going to just abandon the area. Yep, 2 Novembers. One escaped, one undetected. I don't mind. Unfortunately, this was not your mission objective. Exactly, I don't even want to kill these guys at the moment. I'm gonna kill the tender that's heading at or towards the Greenland Sea. Hello. New contact, bearing 228, designate 01. Close to 10,000 yards. Correction, 15,000. Ultra quiet. We have multiple sonar contacts. Designate 02, designate 01. We already have him identified as a Riga class? That's fast. Do we have any layers? No layers. Good. We have an active ping. Riga class. I didn't identify it as such, but sure. Signature. Let's see if it is in fact stacking up to be a Riga. Yep. It is. Still building a solution. Designate 03. It looks like they're both coming my way. Going to make a turn to starboard and start heading to shallower waters. Or at least start heading a bit close to the surface, because we are going to be firing Mark 16s. Trying to blow this Riga out of the water. Let's see what CR3 is. Close to the surface. This is what I really dislike about these old subs. You have to get so damn close to the surface. I prefer firing my Mark 48s from well below what they could possibly detect. Signal strength is really high. Contact. Identified as a Kotlin class. That's the Kotlin. What else do we have? Quite some waves here. CR2 bearing 105. Contact. Identified as an Ugra. Alright. What the hell's an Ugra? It seems to be an armed resupply ship, as far as I can tell. Now I still want to try and get a bearing on the Riga, so he's at a bearing of 113. Which should be close enough to this area. It's probably too far away. Okay. I have a solution for the Ugra. He's just a bit too far away. I'm going to try and get a bit closer. Alright, down on the bow planes. Let's go down a little bit and see what we can find if we get a bit closer. Because I do not want to fire torpedoes at 11,000 yards. I don't really think that they're going to be hitting, especially with my dumbfires. Alright, level the ship out. We're still at 300 feet, 400 feet. We have a solution on the Riga. I'm going to take care of this Riga first. I don't really mind the Kotlin or the Ugra. I think the Riga is a bigger issue. Now the Riga is heading at 15 knots. Bearing 134, course 287. So he's getting closer. Question is, how close do we want to let this guy go? 5,000 yards? These boys all headed for me. Because if they are, then this is going to be a whole lot more interesting. Alright, reload all the tubes with Mark 37s. I tend to trust them just a bit more than my Mark 16s. Despite the fact that I might need those weapons for submarine contacts. I'm going to try and fall in behind the Riga. And that way get a shot into the stern of the ship. There's our Ugra class. Who again is not really a problem. Target surface contacts. The Riga is heading away at 22 knots. You'd almost think he's expecting something. Not really though. There's still no helicopters nearby. At this point the Ugra is 2,800 yards out. And he is probably so shallow that my torpedoes will not be able to find him in time. So we're going to make a bit of a turn to starboard as we are going up. Lost the Ugra. Maintain ultra quiet. Where the hell's the Ugra? He could be pretty much on top of me at this point. Keep going shallower. Whoa! Holy shit, I found one. Does he know where I am? We'll stop. Let the momentum carry us forward. This guy's so close. Cotland bearing 282 re-established. I'm almost worried about raising the scope. If I raise the scope, he might just sail it off of me. Just ram me. Just have to lose a little bit of depth. This is going to be interesting. We could be looking right at this ship. Hello. Whoa! I guess we found our target again. I'm not even sure what the range is, if any. Oh god, I'm right on top of them. At this point, it's too close for me to launch torpedoes. Wow. At this point, I can even see the sailors. They could be looking at my scope and potentially see it too. But so far, they have not given any indication of engaging my sub yet. So at the moment, they don't seem to care much. Let's see, is this Cotland moving up? Well, he's still slugging along. At this point, Mark 37s can work. Oh, I'm gonna have to go down a bit. And fast. Because here comes the Ugra. Down scope. Sounds like our Cotland is subtly speeding up. 11 knots. 14 knots. 1/3. Kotlin is starting to really race away from me. The Ugra is doing the same thing, but again, they have not given any indication that they know where I am. I mean, I'm expecting them to know. I really am. I'll let this guy to get to about 2,000 yards and then fire a torpedo. $1,300 But by now, with his active sonar, he must have detected me. Right, he's slowing down. We're gonna fire, because right now he's very, very vulnerable. Fire tube 1. Is he going to act? Yes or no? I'm gonna manually direct this torpedo towards the target. Come on, buddy. You can find him. I think that he's getting a bit nervous. 7 knots. He's not really speeding up that much, though. 10 knots. I stand corrected. He's trying to get the hell away from here. He dropped a noisemaker. Bearing 178. Come on. If this torpedo wants to catch this guy, he has to do it right about now. Otherwise, this ship is gone. Come on. Gotcha. Hit. Target destroyed. Alright. As for our next participant in this torpedo duel, we're going to be making a turn hard to starboard. I'm going to try and find the Ugra. Ugra last found 028. There he is. How adequate are we? 80%. Not sure how fast that ship can go. But I guess he is getting a bit nervous about the torpedo and about his buddy sinking. Can't really blame him for that. The question now becomes, how do we get this guy? Because that is our target, and at 17 knots against 26 knots speed of my torpedo. My torpedoes are faster, but not by much. The Mark 37s are not adequate. The Mark 16s might. But it's going to be tricky to get a good launch solution on this guy at an angle like that. Because he's heading away from me at best speed. So let's try and find the Riga first. Make sure we have less targets shooting back at us. Raise the periscope. Switch to night vision. Gotcha. That looks like our target. So he's coming in on a bearing of 223. Range? Not quite sure, but I find him to be close enough already. There he is. Or at least I believe that's him. Not much more, and my sail is going to be above the water. Yeah, that's definitely him. Let's raise the ESM. Oh shit. Already too deep. Okay, fine. He might be coming my way, but the Ugra is my main target. So we're going to be... Oh, we're not going to be going all ahead full just yet. Stop cavitating, damn it. All ahead 1/3 until we get deep. Load everything with Mark 16s. Depth, 200 feet. $250-ish. 270. 300. 400. 600. All ahead flank. Let's get close to this guy. At least closer. Of course, at this point I'm completely deaf. I lost the target. But I hope that the Ugra is limited to 17 knots. And considering I can still hear it somehow, I think that it might be. This thing is just running away as quickly as it possibly can. We're approaching by 8 knots speed and difference. Difference in speed, sorry, speed and difference. Now I'm going to have to do some maneuvers if I want to hit them with a Mark 16. It's not impossible, it's just more work. There he is. I would prefer to come up ahead of him, so about there, while he's over there, and then jam a couple of torpedoes into his line of path. But the moment that I start losing depth, so I start to go to the surface, I'm going to have to cut back in speed. The alternative is a Mark 37. And at this point, 2,500 yards, the Mark 37 might just be able to get a track onto the target and still get it. Alright, Mark 37, good luck. Go and get Nugra. Come on. Torpedo searching. I have to manually direct this guy to the surface because he's never going to find this thing all by himself. The seeker cone is just too small. There, any luck? Hello, Ugra. We're going to ruin your day. A lot. Headphone users, be advised, this could be loud. Not the sonar ping, but the impact of this Mark 37. Look at how slow the torpedo is compared to that ship. Oh. Goodbye. Hit. Sunk. Target down. Alright, now to deal with our other buddy over there to the west, the Riga, or at least that's his last known location. Let's see where he's at. So far still no layers. He's not nearby, according to this. Alright, we're gonna head to the surface. Use the scope and the ESM to try and find him. A little more. 67 feet. 60 feet. 50 feet. Hold on. Hold on. I don't want to get my sail above the water. Ooh, close enough. Okay. Scope and ESM. Last we saw him, he was at a bearing of 270. Or near enough. He could have been heading north. I don't see him. Not sure if he escaped. And even if he did, it doesn't matter, I got the target. The interesting thing is that I'm not hearing his active sonar pings either. So either he stopped pinging or he just completely left the area, following the instruction of his intended escort. I am still picking him up on the ESM. Signal strength is 5, so he's pretty far away. Let's give the ESM some time to work. Might be able to find something still. Hang on, he's still pinging. Somewhere 330, I'd say. It's just too far away at this point. Alright, sprint and drift. Scope and masts down. And we're going to continue to dive. We're going to race to our northwest. And then just when we're getting close to the Kotlin, start to get back to the surface and see if we can find them again. Because if I can still get this Riga, then that would be a nice prize. I just hope that none of these ships are going to be pulling a Dutchman, which is the term that one of you guys came up with for a ship that's been killed off, still firing shells, like in a couple of videos ago we saw one of their, I think, light cruisers do. Which was still really, really unusual. And a massive bug in the game. Because as much as I appreciate this game, it is still buggy. It is still... well, I wouldn't say in development, because it is released, but it definitely needs some polishing. Alright, we're getting quite a bit closer to the Kotlin at this point. We moved about 16,000 yards. Let's rig for ultra quiet, go back to the surface. $400, $300, $2, and then slowly get to the surface, because the last time we ascended was a bit too steep. I didn't really like that. 90 feet, 80, 70, 60, 50 at periscope depth. Masts up. Signal strength is now really, really high. So he definitely got quite a lot closer. Which is actually a bit worrying, because I still don't know where he is. And a signal strength of 8 means he's not right on top of me, but definitely close enough. Come on. Give me a bit more sight on the scope. "45 feet, that's the lowest I'm willing to accept. Now I could activate my radar It's a risky premise, but it will detect him. It'll also give him the position of my ship. According to the map, we're still seeing pings coming at us from about 290, I'd say. According to this, he's not nearby. My ESM level's begging to differ. Alright, another sprint and drift lag then. Hold on, 750 feet's more than enough. 780. All ahead flank. Speed coming up again, 25 knots. We're gonna find this guy. And we're gonna kill him. And we're gonna do it with Mark 16s, if I can. Because I still have plenty more Mark 16s than I have Mark 37s. So far I've been able to make very economic use of my Mark 37s. Every hit was a kill. I want to keep it that way. Because with Mark 16s I have no level of certainty. No longer getting active pings. Even with some... Oh, there he is again. Hang on. So far we've raced 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, so that's about 16,000 yards. A little more. Where are you? This is all with time acceleration, mind you. Another ping. That ship has been running for a long time. Up we go. There we go, beautifully level her out, ish. 44 feet, that's cutting it close. Signal strength is far, far less now. So that's not good. Where is he? Unless the signal strength that I picked up here was the Kotlin. I mean, I wouldn't put it past the game to detect a dead ship on radar or on the electronic signals measurements. So I don't really... Is that him? Come on. Thought I caught it. There he is. Hello. Contact bearing 282, Riga re-established. Range 27,000 yards. Ooh, that's pretty far away. According to this, he has a speed of 6 knots. And I guess he's trying to get away from the place of the incident here. And we're not going to let him. We are not going to let him get away with it. Alright, so he's at 282. Again, we're going to do a sprint and drift leg. English. We're going to come up behind him if we can. We're going to go all ahead full. And back to full speed. On the one hand, I think it's a bit of cowardly act by the Riga to just run away. On the other hand, I understand, because he might not be equipped to deal with a submarine. I'm not exactly sure what his capabilities are. So let's see and find out. Now, he was 27,000 yards, so I'm going to have to run quite a few of these blocks. So far, I've run 1, 2, 3. So that's 12,000 yards. That would put him at about 15 if he's not moving, but he is. So I'm saying that he's probably at 17,000 yards out. And I am not placing a lot of faith in my Mark 16s. I know I keep saying that I want to hit this thing with a Mark 16, it's just not likely to happen. These things are just... ugh. Sometimes I think, why the hell did I bring them? Alright, we're going to get to this line and then start going back to the surface. I know that I should be detecting this guy on sonar, but he's probably too far away for sonar. So instead, we're just going to have to go and find him with the scope. Oh, that's not good. Contact bearing 270, Riga re-established. Don't tell me he's at 27,000 yards. He's not. He's at 6,000 yards. If that is accurate. Bearing 274. Come to course 274. Hold. Bit more. Got him. 7,000 yards out. His speed is 8 knots. And holding at 8 knots. Is he making a turn? And speeding up to 15, 17, 18, 20 knots. 22 knots. I rather doubt he's detected me, but he might be doing a sprint and drift all by himself. We're cavitating, yes, that's unfortunate. I'm still behind him, so it shouldn't be an issue. I think that this Riga is doing sprint and drifts, and thereby trying to find me, but if I'm behind him, he's going to have a really hard time finding me. So if I can just race up and fight him from the rear, try to do another torpedo attack like that I did on, who was that? I think the Kotlin, and then the Ugra as well. Bearing 318 re-established. So he's really, really close. Rig for ultra quiet. Slow down. Solution 47%, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Oh! Hello. Rig for ultra quiet. He must have seen me by now. Contact faded. Contact re-established. Where are you at? There you are. Hold. All stop. I'm gonna play cat and mouse, that's fine, but I'm the cat. I just don't think he agrees with that statement. All hat flank. I need to put some distance between me and him, because this isn't working for me. He's too close for a torpedo attack. That'll do. Contact re-established, bearing 026. Riga class. Where are you at, Riga? And the main question is, do you want a party? Because we're gonna. Hold on. Lose some depth. %60 accurate. At 2,000 yards out. We'll stop. 1,600 yards. Come on, sonar. I need an accurate track, and I need it yesterday. There he is. He's really, really slow. But I'm not sure my torpedoes can climb fast enough. So I'm going to blow some ballast. The problem is that I might get caught in this explosion. Is your tactic to just stay on top of me and not get hit that way? Because it would probably work. I just don't really like it myself. You see this guy? Just merrily right on top of my sub. He's not actively using his sonar anymore. Contact faded. All ahead 2/3. Keep running in a straight line. Okay. Okay. This just got real. He has detected me. That was an active sonar pulse that bounced off of my hull. Let's return the favor. I'm gonna try and dive deep to try and avoid this torpedo. I'm really not interested in trying to play with this thing. Hopefully the seeker cone is so small that he's just as blind as I am. Bearing 226 reestablished. Yeah, torpedo's now right on top of me. Of course I should have killed this thing twice over already. I wonder how he's configured that torpedo, because if he configured it to go for targets which are operating shallow, which I was... Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Depth charges and lots of them. Dive planes are damaged. Oh, bloody hell. This is what I get for playing with my food. At least we're not flooding. I wonder if that torpedo is going to try and acquire the own ship. He's still not found me. That was an active sonar pulse that bounced off of my hull. Go active. I just got this thing fixed. I don't need depth charges to be dropped on me. I'm gonna find this ship and blow it out of the water. Bearing 183 reestablished. Range. Not clear. Ping him again. 68%. Hello, buddy. You're coming right at me. You're gonna not quite live to regret that. Tubes 1 and 2. Oh, what the hell? The torpedo sunk my ship? I was moving at 10 knots. The torpedo should have just swum out of the tubes and headed for the target, not sink me. Abandoned ship. We lost the Pargo. Oh, are we going to get another sub is the question. NATO admits loss of nuclear sub. Yes, we do get another sub. Nice. This time around I'm going to take a skipjack because they're operating at 33 knots. And as such are a lot faster than the sturgeons. They're also a bit less quiet. I'm now in command of the USS Snook, SSN 5902. Safe seas. Several naval groups have recently been operating unopposed. Pentagon spokesman revealed that the enemy's ability to efficiently operate around the Greenland Sea has been drastically diminished for reasons that remain classified. Yeah, that was my kill. The United States Congress has called for more troops and armor to be made available to the conflict in Western Europe. Once deployed, it is expected that these additional ground resources would halt the Soviet advance and bring a speedier end to the current crisis. Alright, we have a new mission, and I'm going to be executing that mission in another video. This one has already run for 50 minutes, so if you're still watching at this point, congratulations, you made it through the entire video. I hope you enjoyed that. I promise I will not play with my food anymore as long as I did in this situation with the Riga. I kept it way too long, and in the end I got myself killed using my own torpedoes, which somehow armed themselves just as they were exiting the torpedo tubes, despite the fact that they were not told to do so until they had run about 1,000 yards. So, not sure if it's a bug, not sure if I was going too fast, but these torpedoes just got me killed. So that's unfortunate. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon for more videos.